Hey guys, I left a link in the video that I made earlier today, and I thought, well, why don't I do a video on this? I'm gonna get to it, and like, if you're waiting for Yeshua to come, if you're waiting for Jesus Christ to come, and you understand that He's coming soon, you probably want to hear this. I'm going to get to that, but first I'm going to give glory to God. There's some things I want to say beforehand. There are many parts in my day that I go across that I realize that without Yahweh, without Yeshua, I would be in a much worse position. I'm going to leave a link at the end of my video. I have to answer my door. I just have to let someone in. Sorry, and I'm going to have to answer my door. It's just very quick. What was I saying? I'm going to leave a link at the end of this video. You can follow it. It's called I Shouldn't Be Alive, and there's 4 parts to it. So I don't know, that you can follow the links. Just go to part 1. It is a brutal story, but it's a story that's unfortunate, that you know, was out of my own control. That's how my pain began and how everything happened in my life. So you see how I go back and forth like this? I suffer with, well, it's the worst pain disorder on earth. It's called adhesive arachnoiditis. That's just one of my pain conditions. I have 12 different conditions, 4 pain suicide diseases. And so I live a tough life. And so I realize that when I first moved into this place, almost 6 years ago, I would say half the people around here are like retired couples or singles. And no joke, they were walking past me with canes, and one time someone with their walker. I'm not kidding you, that's how slow I walked. It was like advanced Parkinson's disease. Give me a sec. Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Records for my medication for my taxes. Give me a sec here. Sorry guys, I hate distractions like the vacuum earlier. That was a really loud vacuum, by the way. My life is very tough to live, very tough to bear. Just that one disorder that I named, adhesive arachnoiditis, is, you can look in the medical literature, it's as painful as terminal bone cancer pain. And but I have medication, and this is what I'm trying to give glory to God for. I'm gonna tell you something. I was codependent, okay? I was codependent with my dad because I was sick to a point where I almost was in palliative care. That was the next step to take me to palliative care. It was that bad. I couldn't get out of my bed for longer than 15 seconds. My dad was having to give me shots in my thigh and in my butt of a powerful NSAID called Toradol. It was a tough life. I was dying. So here I am. I'm just, you know, like I'm taking the proper pain meds, which are opiates. I can't live without them. And you know, my mother died, and I didn't get along with my dad, and I moved here, right? and then I started to become less dependent on him to the point where I'm really not at all. I mean, along with like government, well, I have disability. I also work too, but he helps me monetarily too. So besides that, I do everything by myself. So to get to that point, I'm telling you, I couldn't have done it without God. There's just no way. About 2 years ago, I was walking with a cane in this place. Sorry, I know in all my videos, you just fast forward to the point where I'm going to talk about. I realized this many times. I know how to teach others with the worst pain disorders on earth, how to get better, strategies, all that type of stuff, because of the things I've been through. And 2 years ago, I threw away my cane. Well, no, I have it here, but I just said, forget it. Like my posture was literally like that. My head was like bent over like that. That's how bad it was. And I would walk around my parking garage half the time, and outside, it was about half and half. Brutal walks. It was so hard. There was no way I could make it to the grocery store, which is about double the size of a walk, the length of a walk I would take. One day, do you know like when God puts you through really tough times, and you can only realize later why it was to toughen you up, to make you realize this or that? Well, that's what happened. It's a very long story, but I started walking in the grocery store more often. Then I started to bike. It was like, whoa, it was like this huge jump. I noticed I like put 2 inches on my legs. Like my legs are bigger than they were when I was 180 to 90 pounds. I couldn't do this without God. It was all of a sudden my life improved a lot, like a lot. And I realized like I had a dentist appointment today, okay? So before I made that video, I was about to go to a dentist. And so I went there, got a cleaning. I don't need someone to drive me over there. I walk over there. It's like a 5K walk. Then afterward, go into Walmart, come back here, and I realize I can't do this without God. There's no way. If I need help, I can ask for help. But you'd have to be in my space to understand just how much he has helped me. I was in like it was like doom. I was living second to second. And you say, well, what about your pain? Don't you still isn't it still like aching so much and all that? Yes, but I learned to like make video, do work, go do this, go do that, discipline, routine, eat right, sleep right. I live like someone in the military. I feel like I have no choice. And for other reasons. To give you an example, imagine having 12 pain disorders, okay? Imagine having 4 pain suicide diseases. It was half an hour. I was eating my meal just before I went to walk over to the dentist. And and I'm not afraid to say so, I have a disorder. It's not one of those 12. This is just a sporadic thing that I get. It's called proctalgia. You don't want to get that. That's the thing I fear the most. It's like I'm not kidding you. It feels like someone is sticking a metal rod up your butt. You get severe aching in that area, and it lasts for like 40 minutes. It's like all the pelvic floor muscles, nerves, whatever it is in there, and I wasn't under stress or anything. It was like 30 minutes before I'm gonna go, and these attacks last up to 40-50 minutes. I was about not to go. So when you're going through this, it's like something's ripping through there, ripping, tearing, aching. You know where they say a pain in the ass, right? Well, what did I say? I said, God, please help me through this. God, please help me through this. And then I made it. I was close to calling them and saying, like, who wants to go and walk, 2.5 kilometers there and then back? Anyways, these things I'm able to tolerate because of God. So let's get to the next part. I'm very dehydrated. Give me just, I'm getting nice dentures. So I just got a cleaning. I'm missing teeth because I took opiates for so long. Like, I'm missing them in the back up here, back here. I had them removed because of trigeminal neuralgia. It's really unfortunate. But you see how my face is sunken in? You must wonder, yes, because of weight loss. But I just talk to them, and who knows? Maybe in 4 or 5 months we'll see my face fill out a bit. But it certainly has to be part of it. So I'm going to get to 2 things, and then I'm going to read something very interesting. I don't mind revealing some personal details, physical symptoms. Listen, guys, we're talking about dealing with God, and once you start getting into that and you start feeling shame for those things, that's when you just shouldn't. So, I don't want to live my life pretending I don't have something, and being around somebody, right, or a crowd or something like that. I'm not going to pretend I don't have these things. It'll just make me more uncomfortable. Okay. It's tough to watch videos of people who you like, Christian creator, content, whatever, with their ministries, and you understand, like, their theology is on point, except for the rapture, right, which isn't biblical. And I'm like, how did these people not understand this? If they've been reading it for 40 years, they still believe in the rapture. There's a veil over them. Listen, I think the rapture, there is a rapture. The just question is when. It comes down to one single place in the Bible that I just don't understand how they don't get. Make a covenant for 1 week. Jesus Christ was the one who made that covenant. The only one who can make a covenant is Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ was killed in the middle of the week, 3.5 years into his ministry. Do you think that's just a coincidence? Do you think that's just a biblical coincidence? Because if not, then why do you believe in the pre-tribulation rapture? That's one thing. And I don't, like, people who believe in pre-tribulation, I hear people who believe in that say, are people who believe otherwise saved and all that kind of type of stuff? It's like, hey, I think we all love Yahweh the same. It's a question of when is this going to happen. Anyone who truly loves him is going to be saved. Repentance, following him, truly loving him, studying. I'm not saying you have to study. I'm just saying, like, I think a true believer would want to, though. What else was I going to say? There was another part. Don't let me lose this. Yes. Here's the other part that got me. Let's go there. Matthew 24, let's go there together. You know where it says one will be taken Do you know that part? And people think that's about the rapture. Well, I have a different view for you, and I believe it's correct. So let's find out where that is exactly. Near the end, isn't it? So here it is. But of that day and hour no one knows, no, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and didn't know until the flood came and took them all away. So also will the coming of the Son of Man be. Then 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken away and the other left. I bet you don't know this. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, you don't know what hour your Lord is coming. So, when people read this, and when I read this, okay, I got caught in that too. But I learned last week from Truth Unedited what it truly means. And it takes a bit of explaining, but I'll try. I'll try it in the simplest terms. So let's read that again. Then 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken, the other left. So let's look at the context of this. What is the verse before it? For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and didn't know until the flood came and took them all away. Took who all away? Right? Took who all away? It took away all the bad people. So also will the coming of the Son of Man be. This is very interesting to know. What it's indicating isn't that some righteous believer is going to be taken into heaven, taken into some secret place. What it's saying is the evil people will be removed. Because if it's like the days of Noah, what happened? They got in the ark and those people were swept away. Noah was preserved with his family to stay, right? I find that's excellent to know. So there it is. So if it's the same thing, then that means the wicked will be removed and the believers. Remember, we have to be here for the millennial kingdom, and after the millennial kingdom of 1,000 years will be a new Jerusalem, new earth. So there you go. So that covers this rapture, 7 years, and that also covers that part. Wouldn't you rather know the truth? Wouldn't you rather know the truth? Sorry, I got to paste. Give me a sec. This one is actually the next thing why I'm doing a video. It's about Alice Bailey's 10-point plan. You have to read this. You have to see this. You have to. So who is this person? Please read the article. I didn't know this till about a year ago, and I never really read much about it. Alice Bailey's 10-point plan to destroy Christianity. You know the New Age movement? Well, she's the creator. Alice Bailey is known as one of the founders of the New Age movement. She was a writer who lived between 1880 and 1949, so that's 69 years. So in the time of Adolf Hitler, born in around the same time. Stalin. She's a person who is known for creating the term, the generation of World War I, creating the term New Age in her books, which mostly focus on the subject of theosophy. Britannica describes theosophy as an occult movement originating in the 19th century, with roots that can be traced to ancient Gnosticism. The term theosophy is derived from the Greek theos, in brackets small g, God, and Sophia, wisdom, is generally understood to mean divine wisdom. The international New Age movement originated among independent theosophical groups. I don't know about the New Apostolic, if that's connected. I suppose it is. I don't know. Alice Bailey is known as one of the prophetesses of the New Age movement. Her teachings and writings are viewed as foundational and authoritative within the New Age movement. She described the majority of her work as having been telepathically dictated to her by a master of wisdom or spirit entity identified as Jwal Kul. Alice Bailey's writings are so revered and authoritative, to such an extent that her New Age views and philosophies have a social, spiritual, and political impact on politicians, various nations, and also the UN. Go figure. Just wait till what the 10-point plan is. She also founded the Lucius Trust, which was formerly known as Lucifer Publishing Company in 1922, and its believer organization may have influence within the United Nations. Do you think so? Look at what's happening right now. One of the main agendas, you think of Bohemian Grove and all those places, one of the main agendas of the New Age movement is to become the dominant religion or lifestyle within the entire world. Therefore, in order for New Age philosophies to become dominant, then all other religions, especially Christianity, must be destroyed or become less of a spiritual influence within society and in the individual lives of people. It's from this desire to see the dominance of the New Age movement that Alice Bailey wrote a 10-point plan, charter to destroy Christianity so that New Age philosophies may become the one world religion. This is it, guys. This is, I think, what the Bible is talking about. The main purpose of the 10-point plan, charter, strategy, is to either destroy Christianity or convert the nations to New Age philosophies. The Alice Bailey 10-point plan is also part of a larger strategy to eventually introduce a new world order system. So I'm going to break down. This is 100% complete. And in the process, let me take another sip here, please. Okay. Number one. This is crazy. This is happening. This is right now. You would be surprised how accurate. Take God and prayer out of the education system is number one. So, in brackets, right, when did they take it out? 1963. Reduce parental authority over the children. Look what's happening in the schools. Don't tell your mother about this. Don't tell your parents about this book or the LGBTQ. The government is slowly trying to take it. This is why people are taking their kids, homeschooling them, and you should too if you're in if they start doing that kind of stuff to your kids. Destroy the Judeo-Christian family structure or the traditional Christian family structure. Check mark, right? Just look at the times. Electronics, everyone is going their own way. So that's 3 for 10. If sex is free, then make abortion legal and make it easy. 70 million dead babies. That's 4 out of 10. If sex is free. Make divorce easy and legal. free people from the concept of marriage for life. So I guess it was a lot harder to get a divorce in those times. You know, you need a priest, you need to do all these things. It's still legal, but it's a lot easier. So that, and what's happening? People aren't marrying each other. Men aren't looking at women anymore in the Western society, because the women, I'm sorry to say, but have a lot of issues. They do. I'm going to say that flat out. And I don't mean a believer. I don't mean that. I'm saying a lot of women, a lot. That's why those things like those men, what's it called? MGTOW, men going their own way. They're going to places like Thailand, China, for women who aren't Western. So it's happening. That's 5 for 5. Number 6, make homosexuality an alternative lifestyle. So we had a sexual revolution, then we had a homosexual revolution, so, and then we have now this LGBTQ. So that's the reprobate mind. So 6 for 6. Debase art, make it run mad. Well, I don't know. I'm not qualified to I'm not qualified for that one, so I don't really know. Number 8, use the media to promote and change mindsets. Wow. This woman died in 1949 before electronics were here. That's very important to know. It's like Satan was speaking with her. Likely was. Create an interfaith movement. Wow. Abraham Accords, 3 temples. Where is it? Abu Dhabi or UAE, something like that. Let's just say this is 100%. Number 10, get governments to make all these laws and get the church to endorse the changes. They've already done that. Look at the Catholic Church, what they're doing. Church of England, we can't call God he anymore, that type of stuff. Let us bear in mind that that's insane what I just read there, that the above 10-point plan was formulated in the early 20th century, many decades before such a strategy was even conceivable within culture and society at the time. If one makes an objective observation, it would be easy to conclude that the 10-point plan is definitely being implemented at the highest cultural, spiritual, and political levels. I don't know when this was written. Within the world, it's especially true right now. Your comment, I forget who made the comment. Susie, you said it's insane what they're trying to do to us is exactly right. And people are blind to it. They wait till things come to their own doorstep. Why? Probably because Alice Bailey is regarded by New Agers and occultists as the prophetess of the New Age movement. And then it goes on to say, like 1 Timothy 4:1, now the Spirit expressly says in latter times some will depart from the faith by devoting themselves to deceitful spirits and teachings of demons. That's not New King James. It says doctrines of demons. It's happening. It's all here. It's just another confirmation for us. So I'll put that in the description box, and I'll link what I was talking about in the beginning. Thanks for watching this video. I felt a need to say it live what this 10-point plan was, and to give glory to God about my health. You know what? You know, like I herniate a disc, I do this, get that, end up in a lot of pain, but the thing is that you don't give up. And even when you're going through these things, call on God, and I'm pretty sure He'll take you through it if you have enough faith in what you're going through that you can get over it.